Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar today on digital marketing. I've got Christian Faglioli here with me and I will hand you over to him as soon as we possibly can. Apologies for the slight delay in starting today. We just had a slight issue and Christian has just sorted out on the fly, as he just said. I just want to run through some very, very quick housekeeping rules just to make the webinar enjoyable for you. We will follow this agenda and I'm not going to read it out because there's only 5 items there, so it's very simple. But these are the housekeeping rules. The slides and the recording of the webinar, links will be emailed to you within the week. So you will have the opportunity to hear anything that you've missed again or to download the slides and view them again. Please take time to complete the post-webinar survey at the end of this webinar. It'll pop up on the screen. You won't have to do anything except just answer it, please. It's very, very valuable to us. As Christian's talking, if you have any questions that come to your mind, if you notice docked in your control panel is a little questions box, you can start typing the question there and Christian will, you can start typing the questions there and Christian will allocate time towards the end of the webinar to answer these. And that's really all I need to say. Thank you for coming, and I'll hand you over now.
Thank you. What to say about me? I will introduce myself a little bit later, but just at the beginning, thank you very much for to inform for the opportunity of sharing with you guys some digital marketing tips and tricks. I will start with my quote because I always say that I believe that every company needs to be literate in digital marketing to succeed nowadays. Now it's not anymore about if going digital or not. Now it's about how soon can you go digital. And we're going to see with few ideas and I hope I will enlighten some of you in with this webinar. We start with the first basic question. What is digital marketing? I got this question asked many times because when I introduce myself, I'm a digital marketing lecturer and consultant, and people tell me, but what is digital marketing? And I realize that not so many people has a real clue about it. Most of them, they have no idea. Others, they think it's a boring subject, something that nobody cares. Or who cares? I don't need digital marketing. I always live without. Why should I bother? Right? Now, what is digital marketing? It's a website. So you do website, right? Wrong. Digital marketing is not doing website. Actually, website, it's like 5% of what a company needs to succeed nowadays. And it's a tiny little fraction of it. So don't think that because you have a website, you have everything which you need, because you have absolutely nothing. So what it is it e-commerce? Yes, digital marketing is e-commerce. This is some of the answer that I got from people when I introduced myself. It's not e-commerce. E-commerce is something old, like 15 years old. It's not something that has been invented recently, and it's something which is still working, still nice. You can sell your products online, but it's not digital marketing. So what digital marketing is? This Mark Zuckerberg thing, the Facebook, the $120 billion company, etc., etc., etc. No way. That is another channel where eventually we can use to do digital marketing, but it's not the only one. And talking about social media, somebody say in Princeton researchers that Facebook will lose 80% of its users by 2017. So if you are thinking finally that after so many years you decided that you are going to bring your business in Facebook, in a couple of years, you're going to lose most of your users. Where in fact, this can be seen by different ways. But still, don't think that social media is what is going to save your life, because it has been around for a while and has been invented way, way back, even if most of you guys are using for your own corporate or business only in the last few years, and it's not going to last forever. Probably, possibly. So what is digital marketing? Is it Google? Because Google is everywhere. Whatever you do now, you are surrounded by Google tools. Whatever you do, you use some of the Google gadget. Actually, it's not Google. Google is one of the vehicles which digital marketing use to convey its messages. But again, it's not the only one. So what? I leave you with the suspense a little bit, and I'm gonna reveal later what do I think is digital marketing. But let's think, which skills do I need to do these digital marketing things? I mean, is it something for sales, something for marketing, or something for IT? Should I need to be an IT geek, or a salesperson, or a marketing person to learn it? Actually, you can be any one of them, or a combination of them. It's not important what's your study background. Now I will explain you a little bit about myself. Who is Christian Farioli? This used to be me at the age of 3. And then with the years, I grew up as an IT engineer. As you can see from the picture, that was my bedroom, full of open computers. And what I got on the table was one of the first Xbox shipped in the market. How I got that? I got it for free from Microsoft because I participated in artificial intelligence competition and I was the winner out of around 1,500 people. So they gave me an Xbox. The first things I did, I opened up with a screwdriver and modify a few parts of the Xbox. This used to be my geek past life. But one day I realized that in technology, there are a lot of nice things, but there are not so much money. So I decided to move into sales. I joined Oracle, and in a few years, I got awarded 7 times. But then again, my life was not happy enough because in sales, I couldn't touch any of the technology. So what I start doing, I start using the technology and use them to help generate sales. And this is how I ended up doing what's now it's called digital marketing. Actually, I've been doing this for the last 13 or 14 years of my life, but only in the last 3-4 years, I realized that there was a word for it. It's like all of your life, you are mixing up ingredients, and one day somebody told you that the flour and tomato and mozzarella, you can call it pizza. This was the enlightening day at that time. And this is how I realized that what I was doing was something amazing, and still I was not the only one. There were a lot of people in different countries doing exactly the same. So I start presenting and become a book author, a speaker, etc., and now I train for Informa for already for a couple of years. Now here we are with finally, I'm gonna reveal you the definition of digital marketing, which is the process of building and maintaining customer relationships through online activities to facilitate the exchange of ideas, products, and services that satisfy the goals of both parties. Ta-da! How do I got that? Simple, from internet. I Google it. There is nothing new. I haven't invented anything. So now, if you need to get the same definition from the internet, right now you could have stayed doing whatever you are doing, and you don't need to participate to this webinar. You simply can Google it and you get the definition. This is why now I want to give you my own version of digital marketing definition, something which is a little bit easy to understand and it's going to be working forever, which is that finally, in my opinion, digital marketing is getting customers using only the computer and internet. Full stop. When you're getting customers using only the computer and internet, you are doing digital marketing. And this goes everywhere. Now you understand why I say that don't get lost in Facebook only, because that is one of the several channels that you can use to do digital marketing. And after a while, if for some reason Facebook fail or close or change business or whatever, or become a no-profit company just doing good for the third world populations, you don't need to close your company. You don't need to close your business. You need to have different channels. That's it. So now a little exercise. Let's see if you are awake and let's see if you are participating. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate the importance of the internet to the success of your business or career. Let's see if you guys are commenting in the chat box. You will see on the right side in the chat box, and you can just mention only the number. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think it's important for the success of your business or your career? Let's see if you guys are writing something. So let's see, guys, on the right side. I hope that you are all familiar with the GoToWebinar platform. So on the right side, you can ask a question. In the question box, you can just rate. You can just mention a number of 1 to 10, and how do you think it's important for the internet, the success of digital marketing for the success of your business or career. Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Now, obviously, most of you answered 10. Why is that? I hope not because you think that this is the what I need to get, what I need to hear, but I hope that you answer 10 because that is where your customers are. If your customers are in a shopping mall, you go to the shopping mall and you give them flyers, you give them leaflets, you give them business cards. But if your customers, most of them are in internet, there is where you need to get them. So we need digital marketing. These are some of the companies that I've been working for or working with or got awarded for. Then I mentioned you that I've been working in Oracle, in sales, etc., etc. And then you see that here there are companies with absolutely nothing to do one with each other. If you understand who is the gentleman here, is David Guetta. I was promoting one of his concerts in Abu Dhabi a few years ago. And then you see car manufacturers. And then you see something like Science Festival, which is an event for kids. And then you see a banks in Qatar. So what has this to do with David Guetta, with Jitech Shopper, Oracle, or Hubtour, or Lincoln, or Toyota? Apparently nothing, right? But actually all of them share the same playground, which is internet. But then I want to tell you a little bit more, that these are traditional clients where everyone knows, very powerful, etc., etc. What makes for me really interesting is that in the recent years, I got the pleasure to work for these guys. Who are these guys? These guys are news companies, news agencies, traditional news agencies, which finally, after so many years, realize how important it is to go digitally. This is a major breakthrough because all of these guys, they have websites, but only in the last few years they realize that they can make a lot out of it rather than just simply use the website to showcase the same news that appear on traditional paper or the same news that appear on TV. A lot of more things can be done online. And then I got the privilege to work with them. Now, when we talk about marketing, there is always need to be done a distinction between traditional marketing and digital marketing. So, what is traditional marketing? Traditional marketing is find a way to increase the visibility of your brand company products mainly on the shelves. On the shelves or not, but still at the end of the day, you go to some retail, you go to some company, you go to some shop, and then you decide to buy their products better than others because you got brainwashed by advertising. That's good. That's nice. This is what we've been always doing as a consumer and as a marketer. But when we talk about digital marketing, we talk about different things. We talk about different playground. Here we don't see shelves. Here we don't see retailers. Here we don't see employees. Here we see numbers. This is, for example, social media accounts. So in the last 20 seconds, 650,000 likes on Facebook has been generated. Look at how many hours of videos have been uploaded on YouTube. How many searches happens in Google in the last 30 seconds. These are big numbers. So this is what you need to think, that even the biggest shopping mall in the world, it cannot even compare the kind of numbers of visitors to the kind of numbers which are happening online right now. And in my opinion, digital marketing means grab these numbers. So whatever you are doing, you need to grab these numbers. Now we're talking about Facebook, Google, Twitter. Tomorrow there is going to be something else. There is going to be Baidu, the Chinese version of Google, or something else. Or some other crazy guy will come out with some idea, better, faster, cheaper, stronger, or another social network more powerful than the others. Good. These are still numbers that we need to grab. When you are grabbing these numbers, you're doing digital marketing, no matter how. Good, interesting stuff. Now, successful social media examples. Everyone knows and finally start using social media because Barack Obama has been proven that he won the election in 2008 thanks to social media. Actually, he raised $650 million and got elected president. So you think that in your business you are not selling anything, so internet is not for you, etc., etc. Think of Barack Obama. What he's selling? He's selling himself. And then he still got $650 million, actually selling no physical products whatsoever. He just got donations. So he sold his idea and he got followers. Another typical successful example of brand online. It's a company that you all know and most of you has used, if not probably all of you guys has used at least once. It's a company that was established at the end of 2008, really at the beginning of the big crisis. Do you remember the crisis of end of 2008, right? This company was just established. It was a company in advertising and marketing and started with 225 employees. Has been featured in most of the television channels in the world as the company with the biggest and fastest growth in history. What's this company name? Is Groupon. Now you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Groupon. Yeah, that's a nice idea. They do coupons, they do discount. Yes, it's a nice idea, but with 225 employees. So it's not a nice website. It's a nice company. But what's happened with this company? That now he got 10,000 employees in 45 countries. 2012 revenues were $2.3 billion. Now I think the 2014 revenue was around $3.5 billion, if I'm not wrong. So we're talking about an average growing of 20,000% per year. This has been featuring as the fastest and biggest company growth in the history. Not online, full stop, in all of the companies worldwide. And Groupon owns his success by exclusively massive digital marketing. Nothing more than digital marketing. So that was cool stuff, right? So can you imagine a company growing 22,000% per year averagely? That's mind-blowing, and it's keep growing. Now, this happens because the television-centric age has gone. We are all consumer and businessmen, and we all sometime look at the television. Now, not anymore, but we used to come from an age where whatever they say in television is true. Why? Yeah, because if they say in television, it must be true. They cannot lie to us, right? If they tell you that this magical cream, it's so nice and so powerful that you put in your face and you look 20 years younger, oh, amazing, we have to buy the cream. Now, not anymore. Now, we are running by the internet-centric age, or somebody call it Google-centric age, where whatever you hear, whatever you think, whatever you may think it's good or bad, you Google it. You ask internet the opinion. And what you find out is that the magic cream that it tells you that you can become 20 years younger with just a couple of weeks, you realize in internet that people say don't buy this crap because if you are ugly, you remain ugly all of your life. So don't waste your time and money. What you do? You don't buy the cream, even if they spend a massive amount of advertising in television. So the age has changed. The consumer has changed. Now we're not anymore stupid consumers. Now every single human being that goes even to the college, he at least spend 1 year learning marketing, at least. So now it's not anymore about brainwashing people easily like that. Now the consumer is smarter and smarter and smarter. And what it does mostly, something is called ROPO, which is research online, purchase offline, which means that they purchase in the normal retail or in the normal shop after researching online. And these are the percentage of UA. So we're talking about retail, 20%, technology, 45%, groceries and healthcare, 13%, travel, 82%, finance and real estate, 30%. Still, most of the people at the moment are using internet when they need to book a travel. Even if they go to the travel agency, first they research online. When they're happy, when they're sure, then they go to the agency. We need to understand this because first of all, we prepare the customer. So when they come to our shop, to our travel agency, to our real estate company, they already know what they want. They don't need us to explain everything A to Z, what to do, where they can go. They already know it. They only need a shop, a physical entity to pay, to be sure that they pay and their travel, their product is booked. This is why they need us. But it's important to understand that these numbers are growing on a weekly basis. Now, another interesting chart is the media consumption chart. We see on the left side how users are consuming the media, where most of the people are consuming the media online. A little bit less they consume the media on TV, and a lot less they consume the media on newspaper, magazine, radio, and mobile. But funnily enough, on the right side, we see how much the companies are investing into this media. Still, the majority goes for television and newspapers, a little bit of magazine, a little bit of radio, and only the mere 2% goes for online investments. So now you need to think about how companies are investing only 2% in something which cover at least 40% of people watching, of people reading media. This is the point, and hopefully at the end of this webinar, a little bit of things will change in your mind. Now, we talk about digital marketing. Digital marketing, then, is not just one or two or three things. It's a set. It's like a puzzle. Let's see all of the parts of this puzzle. First of all, we have the strategy. Then we have search engine optimization. Then we have pay-per-click. We have email marketing, digital display advertising, social media, advanced social media, mobile marketing, analytics, and planning. These are the main components of the digital marketing framework. In reality, they are not all of them, because there are a lot more. Every week, there is some new crazy guy coming out with another idea, better, faster, cheaper, and stronger. Somebody talk about digital coupons. These are the latest of the latest. Now, these are not the latest. The latest is affiliation marketing. It's not the latest affiliation marketing because it exists for at least 5 or 6 years. Now, people are talking about video marketing, which is good and it's cool. But video marketing is nothing if you don't have the viral component. And then other companies and strategy come out with ideas like the remarketing, retargeting, or a combination of some of them, like the concept of SOMOLO. SOMOLO, it's a nice, interesting concept because I will tell you in a minute. First, I want to finish this slide. All of the digital marketing framework blocks are cool, but as you see at the bottom of this cake is missing something. What's missing? It's missing pizza. No, I'm joking. It's missing you. It's missing the implementation. All of these are amazing ideas, amazing concepts. But until you don't start learning about it, until you don't start putting them in practice, they remain a nice chart. And I will eat the pizza. Now, talking about the Somolo, that's another crazy concept. So it's not just about adding new things to the digital marketing framework. It's even combining some of them together to create new things. Sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. And it's the concept of a Somolo, which is a social mobile local. And the idea is that is mentioned as I found out in this sign, which say that the future isn't about mobile, it's about mobility. That is nothing but true. It sounds a little bit obvious, but it's not. Because the point is not to have the mobile phone with you, it's not to advertise on the mobile phone, but it's about mobility, it's about what you do with your mobile, it's about what's the situation that make you use your mobile. And once clever marketers understand this, then we can target our users properly. Then we can make a difference. Then I will give you an example. If you're following me, just write it down, at least my name and surname, and then try to find me on all of my socials, because at the end of the presentation, I'm gonna post some interesting stuff. And I wanna see how many of you are finally commenting what I'm posting in my socials. This is a truly example of SOMOLO, social mobile local. Why? Because I'm asking you to use social channels, possibly from your mobile phones or laptop, whatever, and then to advertise a local business, which is, for example, the next training or the next event or the next big digital marketing thing. And this is a very simply an example of SOMOLO, not reinventing the wheel, just putting together the right component to get something amazing out of it. So write it down, my name and surname, Cristian Farioli, and then make sure that at the end of the training, you connect with me and you write something on my page. Good? All right. Now, traditional versus digital. Who are you with? Because I'm from Milan, everyone that I know, they ask me, so you're from AC Inter or AC Milan? I will never tell you. I will keep that as a secret. But then when it's about the discussion moves into marketing, if it's how it works, traditional versus digital, for me, the best answer is both. At the end of the day, ROI counts. I'm not the guy telling you stop doing whatever you are doing, throw away television advertising, throw away magazines. No way. I'm the guy telling you, guys, measure everything as much as you can to make sure you are getting the best out of it, whatever it is. If one day I will discover that it's better to write the name of your company on a napkin and throw the napkin out of a window, I'm going to be the first person telling you guys. So as much as I love technology, I'm not a technology maniac that forces things to happen. Everyone should calculate exactly what's the ROI of any marketing activity is doing. So then you will take informed decision to go more into digital or more into traditional. Good? Now, a little bit of ideas and a little bit of difference between traditional and digital. I want to make your brain a little bit open. So when you talk about traditional marketing, you're looking at a broadcast, which is one-way communication. It's a push communication. It's a message-driven. It's brand focus. It's about the feature, the benefit of your product. You tell, you explain, you instruct people how to use your product. But it's also constrained. So you fit with programming and print schedules and geographic boundaries. You can only come out where your media is showing. It's a calendar and budget bound. There are limits and start and end point. Also, the power is retained by the media owner and the advertiser. If the advertiser doesn't accept your advertising, you can do nothing about it. If that magazine already got an agreement with some company and for non-competition, they cannot advertise any company in the same sector, you're out. There is no way. Here we come with digital marketing, an approach based on openness, transparency, and engagement with the consumer, which is, first of all, interactive, which means that communication is going to happen many to many. It's consumer driven in terms of their interest and preferences. It's about listening, so follows the consumer needs. It's unconstrained, liberated from schedule and boundaries, open-ended. Actually, we like to consider it as iterative, where you get a launch, a review, and adjust and relaunch. So it's not going to be a fixed calendar. Also, the power, the control and influence is with the consumer, not even with you, the advertiser. The power is with the consumer. The consumer decide where he want to go. And it's up to you to make sure that to give the consumer enough freedom to take that direction. Now, the most important things and big difference is that at the end of the day, with digital, you save money. And if some of you think that you will spend more with digital marketing than with traditional, then it's better you start learning a little bit more about digital. Because believe me, I'm talking about saving 90% of the budget. Or at least if you have a big budget, you allocate a percentage of it, and then you will see the big difference. Now, digital, good. Digital, it's also going beyond marketing. We're not talking about how to increase sales, how to get more revenue, how to get more ROI. We use digital channels also to do market research, also to do product design, to find out what customer like and what customer don't, so to produce a better product. Also, as a customer support tool, a lot of people are using Twitter, for example, or some specific Facebook page as a customer support. So where eventually other users will help the company to solve some other issue with some clients. Because sometimes the problem is the company, sometimes the problem is the client. But a company cannot tell the client that the client is wrong, but other users can. So when you bring them in a right environment of customer support online, then amazing things can happen, which is, for example, that many of your supporters, customers, they fight against some other customers which they just not gonna be ever happy. Also, we use digital for the transparency and the corporate social responsibility. When you do CSR digitally, you multiply your effect by thousands of times. And this has been proven million times because we're human beings. So we got affected by a nice heartbreaking story about somebody that need our help or need our support. And online, this works amazingly. Now the question is how to succeed in digital. Now that I know a little bit more about it, what can I do? I will give you another big tip. If you're describing your company as the best, the market leader, the number one, top, awesome, amazing, innovative, you're like everyone else. You're not saying absolutely anything new. Be remarkable. That is the word. be remarkable. And who is the most remarkable person of our time? Our beloved Steve Jobs. And then I name also some of the brands that came from my lovely country, Italy. And I'm sure that you'll also realize how also those people has done something remarkable. Now, you want to see some hot examples? There we are, an example of successful events for the Abu Dhabi Science Festival. Only online, only digital, in a matter of a couple of months, a staggering total of 11 million impressions. Total exposure, more than 300,000 impressions and 500 clicks daily. So do you know what does it mean to get 300,000 impressions and 500 clicks daily? Also keep in mind that the impressions were going to the exact target audience. I'm not talking about a big highway with a big banner where every single human being can see your banner. I'm talking about only the right audience, and the right audience was segmented and targeted properly, each one by one individually. So this was a massive difference. Then something else. I'm sure that all of you now know Just Falafel, right? A nice company started in 2007. I would like to ask how many of you tried Just Falafel, because I'm sure that now that Just Falafel got almost 2 million fans in Facebook, I'm sure that only some of them, they try Just Falafel. And I'm one of them. I never tried Just Falafel, even if I like their Facebook page and I click like. Why? Because this was a strategy. A company started, in few years, got awarded so many times that finally they open up the franchising, and now they are absolutely everywhere in 9 countries and growing and growing and growing. So this is the idea, not just to show off your big expensive advertising in the big expensive media. It's just to show off to the right audience in the right media, which is the digital media. Now, without going to the huge companies, let's see even a little example. The first Turkish night in the UAE happens, I think, was a couple of years ago, and it happens in an hotel that was recently opened in Dubai, in the Palm Jumeirah, which was a Rixos hotel. Now, Rixos hotel was not really known at the time because it was just open, so not so many people knew about it. What's happened is that the organizer, which is a friend of mine, he told me that was going to launch this event and was going to need my help. I said, of course, let me know, and we're launching the event. So then he called me once, and it was a Tuesday morning, and he told me, finally, I got the location, and I got the event. I said, good, when is it going to be? And he told me Friday. I say, which Friday? This Friday. So how it's possible? There are only 3.5 days before the event. Yeah, this is the only day that I got. I say, my God, but 3.5 days, it's impossible. How can you get people there? And then he told me, yeah, because you are a wizard, we can launch some magic digital campaign and we can get enough people. I say, okay, my friend, but what other strategy have you got in plan? Nothing. Which other public relation companies, agency, or people you have leaflet flyers you have planned? So nothing, absolutely nothing. So okay, whatever. Let's get the challenge and let's try. But I cannot guarantee anything because still in 3.5 days, we cannot do miracles. Still in 3.5 days, with a massive digital campaign, we were able to generate audience of 500 real people which turn up in the event. Now, why I mentioned 2.5 days? Because at that time, even when you launch a campaign in Facebook, it takes 1 day for the campaign to get approved. So it took time. Then it got approved, and in 2.5 days, we got enough people to fill up the room. Fun enough, Rixos haven't seen so many people in an event, including in the opening of Rixos. And they were shocked. They say how it's possible that these guys can get so many people. But what they didn't know is that we achieved this in a matter of 3.5 days. Interesting, eh? Fantastico. Now, another funny things, leverage and super engage. So when you are doing digital, you don't just do 1 or 2 or 3 strategy independently, like assigning social media to a company, the advertising to another company, mobile to another company. You try to build a strategy which include every channels, so you can leverage from one channel to another one. So this was the first Jitech shopper which was moved to World Trade Center. World Trade Center, it's a big location to get filled, right? Still, digitally, we were able to achieve massive results. Just one post was seen by 850,000 people. So can you imagine if your logo, your brand, your company logo was in that picture? What would have meant for your business? Then other digital display examples. I mean, I like to show always a real live chart, because in Excel, everyone is able to build numbers. But when you see real data from real apps, I'm sure that you understand that there is nothing wrong with it. In a matter of a few weeks, 163,000 clicks and 63 million impressions. So do you know how much it is, 63 million impression? Again, in the right audience. These are not people with absolutely no clue about it. The interesting fact is that if you look at the average CPC, which you will see here, this is how much each visitor visiting the website costed, which was at 0.34 dirham, which is approximately $0.1. So this is how much it cost to get one targeted visitor to visit the website. And we got 163,000 of it. Definitely, the cost was not cheap. But then, if you just want to distribute only business card, I mean, one business card is costing you probably 1 dirham. And then you are distributing business card or flyers to people which they have no clue about who you are, what you want. Where in this case, we were getting people exactly from the target audience, going exactly on track. Is it fantastical? I hope it is. And then the last example is how to leverage Facebook effects. Again, I will never stop saying that don't plan the campaign separately, don't plan strategy separately, don't plan a channel separately. Mix them, find some clever and creative way to make it work. This is something that I show already in some events, so maybe some of you already saw it. There was already a quite interesting engagement. Here we're talking about almost 3 or 4 years ago, where weekly there were 7,700 people reached for an event. Then there was 3 weeks before the event, and this was not enough. The numbers were way, way, way below, because with these numbers, the event is never going to be filled. So we did a lot of tricks, a lot of this, a lot of that. We study exactly the target audience. We get to the right people, and we leverage with the advertising on the right audience. And this is what's happened, that in 3 weeks, we brought the number from 7,700 people reached weekly to a staggering 1.5 million people in less than a month. So this is a 20,000% increase. This was done exclusively with creative ideas and mixing together the right people, right audience, right target, and right advertising platforms. So finally, 32,000 people liked the page, and totally the number of people that we were able to reach were 8 million. So we reach a lot more than the entire population of the UAE, because the target was only to target exclusively UAE. Still, we reach a lot more. This to let you understand, guys, that in digital there are no limits. Is it fantastico? Is it super fantastico? So do you think your career and your company need digital? I like to use one of the advertising from Pirelli, an Italian tire manufacturing company, to introduce my tagline, which say, marketing's nothing without digital. And how do I know that? Because I'm making the difference in companies on a daily basis. So if also you want to do something, now you know the way to go. Then I repeat the same tagline which I open my webinar, which is that I believe that every company and individual needs digital marketing to succeed today. And I still believe that most of the companies and of the people are still not using not even 5% of the power of digital. So I'm sure that more of you guys are going to be aware about it and are going to be understanding and trying different approach. Then another things that I say is that question everything. To have question, it's good, because when we have question, we have answers. But if you have any questions in Google, there are always answers, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for the webinar. Now I pass the word again to the organizer, and then please, if you have some question, write it down in the question box on the right side on your GoToWebinar window, and then I'm going to be happy to help and to answer some of your questions for a few minutes. Is it okay? I hope you enjoy the session, and then I will pass now the word on the organizer for a minute.
Thank you, Christian. We're just waiting for a few minutes to see if anybody has got any questions to ask.
Okay, we got a question. If digital marketing is so powerful, why people are not using it? Great question. Actually, the answer is very simple. At the moment, there isn't much awareness about digital marketing. So the point is to make sure that when people know what you can do with digital, then everyone is going to go into digital. But then again, some other people or some other company are afraid to try new things, because at the end of the day, it's about trying something that has never been tried before. You are working in a company, you are comfortable with your seat, with your marketing position, doing your flyer advertising, banner, TV, and radio. You don't want to risk that doing something different, you're going to maybe screw it up and the company is going to fire you. But actually, I can tell you that you don't need to change everything in one day. The way that digital works is that you start allocating a little bit of budget for it, not much, even 10-20% of it. So you're not going to kill your company if with this 10 or 20% is not going to go according to your plan, right? Still, I can guarantee you that with the 10% of your marketing budget, whatever it is, you can make miracles online and you can measure the effectivity of the results. This is also a big difference with traditional, where with traditional, you can see the result only after a few months when you close the quarter or when you close the year and you find out how many products you have sold. But in digitally, you can check this on a daily basis, even on an hourly basis. So I'm glad you asked this question. Great. Now we see another question. That's all sound very exciting. Thank you, Sherry. Where is the best place to start your digital campaign? How do I actually go about it? That's a very good question, because the best place to start your digital campaign is first of all to contact Informa Middle East, because one of their guys are gonna be very happy to assist you and to let you understand which kind of possibility and trainings there are. And so definitely you will get a lot of ideas out of it. And now we have a full calendar of trainings. So for any need, there is a specific answer. Also, we launched recently a new training, which is going to be called Digital Marketing for the Board. And actually, it's a training for senior managers. So it's not a typical training where we teach you what to do. Actually, it's a training where we will teach senior manager how to plan a digital marketing campaign, how to measure the effectivity, how to choose properly the agencies that can do the job for you. But also at the same time, it's going to teach you how to get budgeting and how to distribute the marketing budget across digital and traditional platform. I hope I answered your question. All right. Any other question, guys? Was it interesting? Was it good content? Was it valuable content? I hope it was. Okay, guys, if nobody has any more question, we can wrap up, and then I can just say to keep connecting, to keep digital, and never stop learning. All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and thank you to Informa for this opportunity. All right. Okay, bye, guys.